It's mid-September and time for another garden tour. I have these two grow bags in the front of the property. The one in the back had onions in it, and those I've already harvested. And here in the front I had some garlic, and I threw a couple of seeds, yellow squash seeds in here, and kind of forgot about them. And look, they're producing all over the place, so that's pretty cool. The woody herbs like this lemon thyme here, I have some rosemary, I have some marjoram, are all doing fine. They all need to be transplanted to bigger pots, and they all overwintered great last year when we had the snow and all the rain. I have some mint and some lemon balm, and they're starting to look a little raggedy. They'll die back, but they've come back every year, even after tough winters. So I'm just going to feed them and keep them as healthy as I can, as long as I can, and hope for the best for the spring. Suddenly having onions coming up here. I had some onions in here and nothing grew, and then those onions I pulled out and I have new ones. So just going to let them overwinter and maybe have onions next summer. I planted some cucumbers without looking at what was on the label, and when they finally started growing, I did not recognize them to be cucumbers at all. But they are cucumbers. They are Armenian cucumbers, and they are absolutely delicious. I have a really nice butternut squash here, and it is putting out a huge long vine. And although there are a lot of flowers and a lot of blooms, I was giving up hope on any butternut squash. But here at the end I see two. There's a small one there and an even smaller one there, and there might even be one or two more that I'm not seeing. Finally getting some of these little yellow pear tomatoes. They are so good, so sweet. They're just starting to just come out. I had that one perfect little miniature pumpkin, and that was it. No more blooms, but the vine keeps growing. After almost dying, the rhubarb's coming back better than ever. I've been really conscientious about feeding it with fertilizer, and I think that's helped a lot. This is my Baker Creek seed tomato. It's a Paul Robeson. It's a heritage type, I guess, or they're non-hybrid, non-GMO. I don't remember what they do, but it really is growing beautifully. The tomatoes are real pretty. I don't have a lot, but I have several. They have a seed store in Petaluma, and I went in last year and asked for a variety that would do well up here with a short season, relatively short season, and this one really has done well. I have two tomatoes that are ready to pull and a few more that will be ready to pull soon. I have two Better Boy tomatoes here, which have never really done too much. They've grown kind of reluctantly, and I've never put out any blooms or any tomatoes, so I have to probably change positioning or do something differently for next year. Green zucchini is still putting out zucchinis. And I have a couple yellow zucchini still growing on this plant out in the back. I got these yellow chrysanthemums from my neighbor last year and transplanted them, and they're doing great. And I have some lavender here kind of limping along. I'm getting a water faucet put in right there, and that will give me access to this area where I can put my garden next year, expand the garden. I was never able to do it because there was no water. This area here is on top of a spring. And this little berm here is a good place, I think, to put fruit trees for the future. I haven't had a lot of luck with them in other parts of the property, but because of the ongoing water here, it's probably a good place. I have my succulents, a couple succulents, and some marigolds, geraniums, wisteria, growing along the side of the house and in front, cactuses and succulents. My other cactuses are doing just fine, growing out of their pots, but somehow they seem to thrive on having their roots really cramped in there, evidently. These all wintered over pretty well last year too. I will, however, be bringing my aloe vera in. One on the right is the medicinal aloe vera. They never winter over well, so I'll probably be putting that in the house. Even on the porch, if it gets too cold, it'll get frost on it and freeze up and then die. I've had this bay tree here in this pot for a couple of years. I have bays on the property, but they're California bays, and you can use them in cooking, I guess, but at the nursery they said the laurel bay was better for cooking, so I have this one right in front here for cooking and eating. The trick is going to be to keep these guys happy all winter. I'll probably have to move them closer to the house or at the side of the house right now. There's my front door, so I want to take them either off the exposed area of the porch or put something behind them. I'll probably put as many as I can here, or move this over and put the shelves alongside the house. It just gives it a little more protection. These have yet to winter over real well on the porch. I've usually had them on the side underneath the house in a greenhouse, but I've got that frost cloth now, so I'm going to do everything I can to keep all my succulents and cactuses here right next to the front door. So that's it. I'm really delighted with my vegetable garden and all the things I got out of it. I've learned so much this year. Next year's going to be even better. I'm getting my supplies ready, and I'll be getting my porch ready for the wintering over of my succulents and cactuses. I think I did okay last year, and I hope to do even better this year. Continual learning process. Hoping your fall days are beautiful and that you're enjoying your gardens and your harvests and whatever else you enjoy doing this time of year. Thank you so much for watching.